Now here at 5 o'clock, rolling in the rematch. No historic comeback needed last night as the Patriots dominated the Falcons over at Gillette.
Opening up, Tom Brady's mom making a special appearance in Foxborough and sharing the story of her fight against cancer.
A community coming together remembering a young boy who was tragically killed after being attacked by a pair of dogs.
And friends and family preparing to say their final goodbyes to a 6-year-old superhero who inspired so many people.
This is 7 News Today in New England.
5 o'clock on your Monday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on the news station. I'm Chris Anderson.
And I'm Nicole Oliverio. A lot to get to, but first, if you're just stepping out this morning, fog going to be an issue.
You may need some extra time heading in this morning, Ren.
Yeah, definitely. We're definitely seeing that fog really throughout the Bay State, and it is locally dense. Actually dense really throughout southeastern Massachusetts with visibility down to a quarter of a mile or less. We do have this dense fog advisory, in fact, through the mid-morning hours, but we do have the chance for even some patchy fog past that point, just not this dense. So you do see, especially south of Mass Pike, visibility down significantly. So this will slow things down for your morning commute with visibility down to under a quarter of a mile in Worcester. You notice Plymouth, New Bedford, as well as Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket, really all in the same boat with visibility down to about a quarter of a mile. Here in Boston, we're faring better, but still seeing some reduced visibility. Temperatures are in the mid-50s in Boston, 50 degrees in Worcester, so a mild start, unseasonable still. As we head into today, we're not going to be quite as warm as yesterday. We'll be back in the upper 60s and low 70s.
5:01, and we need our first look at the roadways for your Monday morning. Here's Elena Pinto with more.
Chris, good morning. Here's a live look at the Zachem and also a very quiet, very empty Leverett connector over here. Very dark, too. So we'll go to those maps because you'll see plenty of green. It'll be a pretty easy commute no matter where you're at. 93 is wide open. The expressway is looking good. Split 324, 95. No issues there. No issues on the Pike either, all the way into the city, and up north 2 and 3 are doing okay. So your drive time is going to be quick, 10 minutes only on the expressway, 12 on the Pike and 11 on 93.
We have a breaking story from overnight. Crews responding to a fire in a building in Dorchester. Happened right on Wells Avenue earlier today, and you can see it in the video here, the smoke pouring out of the building. Fire officials say the flames started in the basement and then spread upstairs to 2 businesses and an empty storefront. Cause of the fire remains under investigation this morning.
Now to the Patriots, who took all the suspense out of this one pretty early. Their Super Bowl rematch turning into a rout as they jumped on the Falcons early and never looked back. Tom Brady tossing a pair of touchdown passes to lead the offense.
No one complaining that there wasn't a comeback needed here. While the defense also turned in its best performance of the year, shutting down the high-powered Falcons offense, winning it 23-7. Let's get out live to 7's Carrie Corrado. She is in Foxborough this morning with more on this big win for the Pats. Carrie.
Well, the Patriots showed no mercy. They dominated their game against the Falcons. And the Pats also won back in February for the Super Bowl, and they won in the greatest comeback of all time in NFL history.
Ryan off the fake, throwing and batted away in the end zone.
The Patriots defense coming through in a big way on a foggy night in Foxborough as the Atlanta Falcons come to town for a Super Bowl 51 rematch.
It's different week to week, and I think we got to find different ways to win. And I mean, playing great defense, that's always great for us.
Matt Patricia's crew holding the Falcons to 7 points on the night with a lone touchdown coming late in the fourth quarter.
I thought we competed and made them earn, every yard. And when you go against good teams, that's what you have to do.
Early in the second quarter, the offense would start rolling with Tom Brady flipping the ball to Brandon Cooks, who uses a Rob Gronkowski block to drive into the end zone, putting the Pats up 7-0. Atlanta trying to capitalize on a fourth down with less than 2 minutes to go before halftime. But the pass is off target. That gives Brady and the offense time to work, and they capitalize with a quick pass to James White in the end zone with time expiring in the half. The offense production, something head coach Bill Belichick likes to see.
Played hard for 60 minutes, all 3 phases of the game. We had a lot of contributions from everybody. We played good complementary football.
A pair of Gostkowski field goals would put this one out of reach. The Patriots taking the Super Bowl rematch 23-7.
And the fourth quarter touchdown was the first Falcon points in 91 minutes. Live in Foxborough, Carrie Corrado, 7 News Today, New England.
And Tom Brady's mother making a special guest appearance at the game last night wearing pink, recognizing Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and also opening up and sharing her very personal fight against that disease. Before the game, Galen Brady talked about her brave battle, hoping it will help others who are facing the same struggle. 7's Jennifer Egan is live this morning with more on Mrs. Brady and what she had to say. Jen?
Chris, good morning. Galen Brady wasn't able to make it to any of last year's regular season games, but she was here last night, and Tom Brady says that made for a perfect day.
Before the game, Tom Brady's mother and father walked onto the field in honor for her fight against breast cancer. Galen Brady opened up about her battle with the disease in an interview with the NFL Network.
The kind of cancer that I had is a very fast-growing, aggressive kind of cancer. And it's going to require a lot of chemotherapy and radiation. And so the journey began.
After being diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer in the summer of 2016, she underwent several surgeries, including 2 lumpectomies. In September of last year, Galen started 5 months of chemotherapy, which meant she missed Tom's regular season games. But she made it last night and watched the game with her daughter-in-law, Giselle, who posted this picture to Instagram. Brady spoke about having his mom there after the game.
I'm just happy for my mom. I mean, what she's been through is pretty challenging, and challenging for my dad, challenging for all the people out there that are, battling with cancer and other diseases, and you can't take anything for granted. So I love the time I get with her.
Throughout her battle, Tom Brady kept in constant contact with his mother.
FaceTime a lot. Losing my hair was hard for me. And, I think because hair to women are, who you are, and I'd have my bandana on. He'd say, "Oh, Mom, you look beautiful."
Galen was determined to make it to the Super Bowl.
Just finished my last chemo.
She finished chemo just 2 weeks before the big game, but almost didn't make it. She developed pneumonia, then shingles. The day before she was scheduled to fly to Houston, her doctor cleared her to go.
I put my mask on, I got on the airplane, and decided to go. I just wanted to be there for Tommy.
The Patriots made a historic comeback, Galen even receiving a Super Bowl ring. Patriots said she was a big part of that win.
It was a euphoric feeling. I'm so glad I decided that I would go and just put cancer aside for that weekend.
And Galen Brady says getting that Super Bowl ring almost brought her to tears. We're live in Foxborough this morning. Jennifer Egan, 7 News Today, New England.
Stay with us here on the news station. We'll have more on the Patriots' big win at Gillette last night, including how they were able to fight through this fog. It's all coming up in our next half hour.
7 News now turning to Lowell, the community trying to come to grips with the horrifying death of a 7-year-old boy hosting a vigil last night for that little boy who was killed in a vicious dog attack. 7's Victoria Warren is live in Lowell with more on this. Vicki.
Absolutely heartbreaking for this entire community. Neighbors say they were helpless as they were watching. You could see live behind me, there are candles, flowers, and balloons out here. Police say that this child went into a fenced area and then was attacked by 2 dogs.
Candles burning at the scene where a young boy lost his life. Neighbors say they were helpless as 2 dogs attacked the child.
There's nothing really we could do. 200, 120-pound pit bulls just getting his neck, his legs.
And I see my neighbor, the owner of the dog, she was crying and crying, and we tried to comfort her. And said, what happened? No, one of the dogs killed one of the kids in the neighborhood.
Police say 2 pit bulls were fenced in when the 7-year-old boy entered the area.
Everyone was screaming. No one knew what to do.
Claire Street getting multiple 911 calls, a child being attacked by some sort of animal. He sat that way too. Apparently the dog will not let go of the child.
Lowell police left with no choice but to kill one of the dogs.
Well, shots fired. The dog said it's still coming at me. Well, the dog just jumped over the fence.
Animal control taking in the second dog. This neighborhood heartbroken for a little boy who they always saw out riding his bike. This girl brought flowers and said she knew him from school, but she also says she and her mom have always been nervous when they have to walk by the dogs.
We would always get scared of the dogs, so we would always come on this side of the road.
The investigation into all of this continues. At this point, they're not releasing the child's name, and so far, there have been no criminal charges filed in any of this. Live this morning in Lowell, Victoria Warren, 7 News Today, New England.
Happening today, family and friends will get a chance to say a final goodbye to Devin Suau, the 6-year-old Framingham boy who died of brain cancer on Friday morning. This young man's story went viral when his parents started the Why Not Devin hashtag to raise money for cancer research. He was even an honorary Boston police chief for a day. Boston police remembering Devin, saying, quote, every once in a while a young person enters your life and in so doing leaves an indelible impression that changes your outlook and challenges you to be a better person. For the men and women of the Boston Police Department, that person was 6-year-old Devin Suau. As you can imagine, news of Devin's passing was met with great sadness and sorrow. But given the indisputable fact that there is assuredly a special place in heaven for police officers, especially the honorary ones, we're quite certain Devin's watching over all of us now. Devin's family has scheduled 3 separate visitations, all for today. The first for friends and family and kids who want to say goodbye. The second for Devin's Army, a name for those who followed his tough battle and the community. The third will be private for Devin's family. Devin's funeral services will be held at 10 o'clock on Tuesday at St. Anselm's Church in Sudbury.
Now to the latest on the president's agenda with the focus on tax reform. President Trump's daughter, Ivanka, hitting the road in an effort to try and sell his plan. 7's Matt Rascone is here now with all the details. Matt.
Yeah, Nicole, tax reform and health care continue to top the president's agenda. Democrats argue this tax plan will hurt the middle class. But in a Fox News interview, President Trump pushed back, calling on Congress to get it done.
I want to get it by the end of the year, but I'd be very disappointed if it took that long.
A call to action from the president urging Congress to pass tax reform.
It is tax reform also, but I call it tax cuts. It'll be the biggest cuts ever in the history of this country.
Ivanka Trump is headed to Pennsylvania today to sell her father's tax plan, a plan President Trump has even discussed with Patriots owner Robert Kraft.
He's a good man. He said to me, you have to do us all a favor. Give the tax decrease to the middle class. We don't need it. We don't need it.
Key details are still unclear. Still, the president could even see Democratic support.
Is he going to do the Patriot Corporation Act route in the tax relief, Working Families Tax Relief Act route, or is he going to go with his billionaire contributors?
And tax reform isn't the only priority.
I will tell you, speaking of health care, I believe we're going to get that also. It'll be in the form of block grants to the different states, and it'll be a wonderful health care. It'll be a tremendous health care.
The health care debate heating up once again, with many putting support behind the Alexander Murray bipartisan bill.
Look, this is a good compromise. It took months to work out. It has a majority. It has 60 senators supporting it. We have all 48 Democrats, 12 Republicans. I would urge Senator McConnell to put it on the floor immediately.
Only this time, the obstacle may not be on Capitol Hill, but in the White House, where the president calls the deal a short-term fix and bailout for insurance companies.
This was going to be temporary prior to repeal and replace. We're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. And I think we actually have the votes.
Well, Senator Mitch McConnell tells CNN he would bring a health care bill to the floor if he knew the president would also be on board and would sign it. Matt Rascone, 7 News, Today, New England.
All right, Matt, thank you. Still so much more ahead on the news station this morning. We're just a few days away from the scheduled release of thousands of documents about the assassination of John F. Kennedy, what the previously sealed files could reveal.
And fighting through the fog, our team coverage of the Patriots win continues this morning. We're hearing from the players about fighting through that thick fog last night.
And it's a foggy start for us here this Monday morning, and we have some cooler and soggier weather headed our way. More details ahead.
And if you're getting ready to walk out the door, you should have a pretty quick commute no matter where you're at, except if you're headed north. We'll have details after the break.
Is that stuff in the way there?
What?
Is those papers in the way? I didn't know if they were yours or not. Who uses scripts?
Minute 20. Here we go. 3, 2.
We'll have all that for you and so much more straight ahead at 7 o'clock.
So stay right there. You won't want to miss a minute.
And you can track this, Nicole.
And take a look at this, a close call. 3, 2, 1. And take a look at this, a close call at a racetrack when a car nearly launches into the stands.
Now, 7 weather with meteorologist Ren Claire.
Well, good Monday morning. We're starting out this Monday with a whole lot of fog. We do have a dense fog advisory, mainly south of the Mass Pike, and as we head through the morning hours, that'll mix out. That advisory wrapping up at 10 a.m. You definitely notice a whole lot of reduced visibility. So a good morning to maybe ready the low beams, count on some extra time as you head into work, because we're going to keep this fog through much of the morning commute. Temperature-wise, it's a mild start for us. Mid-50s in Boston, low 50s in Worcester, still some upper 40s and mid-40s to our northwest in Jaffrey and Orange. High pressure's losing its grip on us here today. So while we'll manage a couple peaks of sunshine, we are going to generally see a trend of increasing cloud cover as our next storm system approaches. This is bringing very heavy rain to Michigan, actually some flooding concerns out that way. And we could be looking at some flooding concerns as that front makes its way through, more so Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That's when we have the best chance for those downpours, with about 1 to 2 inches of rain possible for most of us. But locally, we could see about 3 inches of rain. Scattered showers are still possible even today, mainly to our west and southwest into the afternoon. A better chance for that rain as we head into the evening hours across eastern Massachusetts. And this is just light and spotty. Rain is going to pick up more so as we head into tomorrow. But temperature-wise today, it's a mild day. Not quite as warm as yesterday. We'll be in the upper 60s, low 70s with mild temperatures through the overnight hours. This is 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, and you start to see some of those pockets of moderate to heavy rain developing. So that's when we start to see that heavier rain. Today certainly isn't a washout, just the slight chance for a couple showers, mainly by the late afternoon and evening hours, with partly cloudy skies as we head into the afternoon, and temperatures in the upper 60s, low 70s. Tonight, it starts to get breezy, starts to get muggy. We'll be looking at dew points rising, and tomorrow is actually pretty sticky with dew points in the mid 60s and very blustery with some wind gusts between even 40 to 50 miles per hour. As we do start to see some of that rain, it is locally heavy at times, especially where we see some storms develop. Best chance for that heavy rain and the really windy conditions looks to be Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. But tomorrow, still mild temperatures. After that front rolls through, though, into the end of the work week, we're going to be looking at more seasonal temperatures. So scattered showers are likely throughout the day tomorrow. And then as that front rolls through, we've got a better chance for those strong winds and downpours Tuesday night all the way into Wednesday morning. Then we start to dry out, but could still see some early Thursday morning rain. In terms of how much rain, 1 to 2 inches for most of us, locally 3. Looks like some of the higher rainfall totals should stay to our west, but can't rule it out for us here in Boston either.
All right, Ren, thanks. Now we want to check in with Elena and fast track. Obviously, that fog going to be a problem for the ride in.
Yeah, and it might already have caused some crashes this morning. We do have one in the Somerville area, and it will slow you down if you are headed north. That, of course, is on 93 northbound, right near the Assembly Square exit there. If you're coming in on 93, it's not too bad. Right now, the expressway is doing okay. It looks like we do have a crash right in the Dorchester area there, probably just after Columbia Road there on the expressway in that northbound lane. So that might cause some problems too. On the split, doesn't look too bad. 324, 95, pretty much wide open. The Pike remains to be wide open too, all the way into the city. Up north, 2 and 3 are doing fine. Your drive time on the expressway will still be pretty quick, only 10 minutes there, 12 on the Pike and 11 on 93.
5:18 also on 7. In just a few days, we could learn more about the assassination of John F. Kennedy when thousands of secret documents will officially become declassified. These documents have been kept secret for more than 50 years, but by law, they are set to be released on Thursday.
And President Trump, who could block the release of those papers, tweeted over the weekend that he will allow it. 7's Matt Rascone is back now with more on this.
Yeah, President Trump announced it on Saturday, tweeting that he will allow the release of these documents. The move comes as a 1992 act is set to expire this Thursday. That's October 26, protecting the documents for 25 years. Now, only the president can prevent their release. Massachusetts Congressman Joe Kennedy, he released a statement about his feelings towards the president's decision to release the information. JFK, of course, was his great uncle. He said, Congressman Kennedy understands the public interest in this information and is generally supportive of efforts to increase disclosure. At the same time, this is a deeply personal issue for his family, and he is disappointed the Trump administration did not think to engage them in that process. Now, some historians who have studied the assassination don't believe these documents will lead to any bombshell discoveries, but definitely a lot of people interested in this. Matt Rascone, 7 News Today, New England.
All right, Matt, thank you. Up next here on 7 News Today in New England, Red Sox have made it official. Alex Cora is their man to replace John Farrell as manager of the Sox. We're going to hear Cora's reaction to this big announcement.
And Senator Elizabeth Warren speaking out about her experiences with sexual harassment, encouraging victims not to keep quiet.